Hi, guys, we're back, and today we are going to be doing our review of the Carnival Liberty. As always, we're going to hit on 4 points, which is going to be the ship, the food, the staff, and the service. All right, let's get into it.
Let's go.
So, first, we're going to talk about the ship. So, as many of you probably know, this is an old ship, okay? And it I mean, like any old ship, it does need a little TLC. Um, it did have a poop smell. It had a poop smell in the hallway, and it was even worse in like the laundry room. Like when you
Yeah.
went into the like we went in there to wash our clothes, and it was repugnant. Okay, it was terrible. But I noticed that on the first day that we were on the ship, and then it seemed to kind of dissipate after that, and it wasn't as bad.
I felt like the smell was actually coming from the laundry room into everywhere else, but after the first couple hours, it was gone. But it was, and it's in our vlog that we will link in the bottom.
Yeah, our room wasn't terrible. This was our first time staying in an interior. It's not what we're used to because we always get balconies, but we wanted to give it a try just to see if we liked it and if we could tolerate an interior on a future cruise. And I will say it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to
No,
be.
it wasn't.
And it did make for some excellent sleep because in the nighttime, it is pitch black in there. The only lights that we had were like the lights from our devices that we're charging. Other than that, it was pitch black.
Yeah, and on that point, it's only one socket in there, so make sure that you have a multiple socket adapter when you go. I was actually impressed with the layout. It was better than I thought it was going to be. We did have enough room. We had a couple
Mm-hmm.
of stands on each side. No complaints. I mean, it's an older ship, so it looked better than I thought it was going to look. But you can tell that it was an older ship, especially with us being coming from, on other ships and everything. The layout of the ship is kind of weird also because on two levels, because of the dining room, you can't get from back to front. You have to go up or down. So as long as you have that in your mind, it's okay. Because on one of the days we're trying to get to breakfast, and I got us all turned around and missed breakfast. I mean, we went somewhere else, but just trying to get around as fast. I knew what I wanted to do, but there was a longer way, so I was trying to find a shortcut and got lost. And we went on a little adventure and found sections we didn't even know was on the ship. But we missed breakfast because of that. So that's one of those things that you have to think about because we don't. You have to go through the casino to get to the other side a lot of the times. Well, that's one of the ways to get to the other side. And with all the smoking in there and everything, it's just not the most.
It stinks.
Yeah, it does. We're not smokers, so we
Mm-mm.
really do smell it. So either go higher or lower, and we just sometimes you don't remember it, but that's how all the ships like that. The dining room takes up two spots. I mean, two levels, and so you can really get confused on these older ships like that. Moving on to point number two, and just let me throw this in there. Listen, if you want to travel on any of these Carnival cruise ships, my wife is an excellent travel agent. We'll have the link in below. We would love to help you create memories for long lasting memories for you and your family, if you don't mind. Number two would be the food. Now, I'll start off with that. I'm more of the okay as long as it's edible. I'm good to go. But the main dining room was pretty good. We don't like the buffet. I mean,
Mm-mm.
it's not as good on the older ship as it may
I
be
don't
on
go
the.
to the buffet on any ship. I don't
That is
care
true.
if it's new, old. People are nasty, so I just don't go to the buffet.
And I may do it for breakfast if we don't go to the main dining room for breakfast or something like that. But the cool thing about ships like this, I mean, especially with Carnival, you got Blue Iguana. You got we ate at the deli this time. You got, of course, guys, the pizza place in the back. So you have plenty of complimentary places to eat. They're open at all sorts of times. Also, the barbecue place. It's all right. The meat is okay. Sides are never good when it comes to cruises and stuff. But to me, it's edible. It wasn't the worst food that I've had on a cruise ship, and it wasn't the best. It was just kind of. What about you?
The food was, when it comes to Carnival, I always feel like their food is always kind of mediocre. Outside of Emeralds, which isn't even on this ship, like it's all pretty mediocre to me. Um, the pizza place, we went the first day and there was only one person working there and there were people everywhere and you could tell he was overwhelmed. And I just walked off because I was like, I'm not going to stand here and wait for forever because they didn't have anything up. He was trying to make pizzas, but he was doing everything by himself. And I was just like, I'll come back later. So I went back a couple of hours later and got me some pizza, and the pizza is the pizza. It's pretty much the same all the time.
That
Um,
is good. That piece is good.
Blue Iguana was fine. It's the same. I mean, it's pretty much the same across all ships. Um, Guy's Burger. I eat one Guy's Burger the whole entire cruise, no matter if it's 3 days or 7 days. I get one on embarkation day and then I'm done. I don't really get the hype about Guy's Burger. But the main dining room wasn't as bad as it normally is. The selections were pretty good, and they have updated the menu over the last year, so the food is a little better. Um, the deli was fine. My only gripe about the deli is normally I get the Philly cheesesteak with no horseradish sauce. The last time we were on a ship, I got that and it was fine. This time I tried to order and he was like, it comes already made. And I was like,
Yeah.
so
I think that's a way for them to speed it up. So it's already pre-made. So for people like her who don't want the horseradish, that Philly cheesesteak wasn't hitting, but the beef hot dogs were good and put chili and cheese on it. The deli, it's all right. So like I say, if you're not a person that likes the buffet, and I know it's some people that like the buffet and the walk place that's in there, um, you can always get one of the other places, and you can always find something to eat on a cruise,
mhm.
multiple different places.
And this is also why I say bring your snacks on board so you can fill in the blanks when you really want something and they don't have anything that you want. You have your snacks in your room.
That's a great point. You can still bring snacks that's packaged because sometimes, like Didi said, you want some Oreos, not just cookies, not chocolate chip cookies from the buffet or something. You want Oreos. Well, you can bring those on there so you can have a little snack whenever you would like to. All right. And the third thing we're going to talk about is entertainment. And I'll let you start off.
So we didn't make it to any shows. I
Uh,
know you're not surprised about that.
I
What?
guess we didn't.
No, we didn't.
We did
We
not.
went to the sail away party,
That was
and then I was a part of the Facebook group for this sailing, and they did have like a meet and greet, which I didn't see anybody talking to anybody. All of us just were at karaoke at the same time, but we did go to karaoke before we went to dinner one night, and we did have a good time then.
yeah.
We have actually convinced our kids to do karaoke now. So that was a good time, and always the sail away party is always a good time.
Always. It was
I
amazing.
felt like I don't remember our cruise director's name.
No, I don't.
I don't.
I never remember their names.
I usually do, but this time I don't because I keep wanting to say Robbie, but Robbie was
No,
Conquest,
yeah,
so this is
Conquest.
not Robbie.
Yeah.
I don't know. That tells you
He
something.
did pretty good though.
I mean, he did,
Yeah.
but I don't feel like he was like the other cruise directors we've had in the past where like we remember their name because they were like super lively and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The fun squad was okay, you know, doing their little dances and stuff like that. But that's the only entertainment type thing that we did.
Well, we kind of made some of the bars entertainment. We had karaoke at the bar.
Yes.
So that's one of those things. Like we didn't, and that's why I was kind of had to think about it. We didn't do any like ship things, but we turned each thing we did into a show. Like I say, karaoke down at the Alchemy Bar where we saw bartender that we're used to seeing. It was the second time seeing them and everything, and we had a ball down there. But they did have some shows. It was only a 3 days, so it wasn't a variety of
Mhm.
things. Of course, they had the bingo and all that kind of stuff. That's not something we usually do. I did make it into the casino for people who don't live in the South. But other than that, it was kind of a weekend getaway
Mhm.
kind of thing, so we weren't really worried about all the shows and stuff. But I do remember it being a couple of shows um, on there. Yeah.
But it was shows that they have on like every ship.
Yes, we've seen
So
it.
it wasn't like one of those things where, oh, if we don't go see this show, then we're gonna miss out. Like, we're going on another cruise in 37 days. We'll see the show then.
Yeah,
Actually, we're going on Celebration, so the shows will probably be better.
be better. And fourth thing would be service.
Yes.
Okay. Slash
Staff slash
service.
service. Okay, so our room steward, he was pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
I liked him. So when we first got there, we requested an extension cord for Marcus's CPAP machine, and he told us that we had to go through housekeeping or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever it was that we called, they were like, well, we can't just bring it if you're not in the room. You have to be in the room in order for us to bring it. Then they charged us for it. Then they ended up reversing the charge, which I thought was weird because we've never been charged for an extension cord before. But they eventually brought the extension cord, and then like Marcus asked him for some ice, so he made sure he kept our ice bucket full. He was really good. Like, we would see him out in the hall, he would make sure, if we needed anything, that we got it. So he was really good. The bartenders, they were fine. Like, I don't recall having any issue
Yeah.
with anybody. Like,
Drinks were decent except for at the pool.
yeah, at the pool bar, the drinks weren't good at the pool bar. But we went to oh no, retract that statement.
Oh.
We went to, when Marcus was in the casino, I went to the casino bar. I ordered a lychee martini. It was disgusting. And I was like, I had a lychee martini on Mardi Gras and it did not taste like this. It tasted like straight up lime juice. And I'm like, this doesn't taste right. So it was a man who had made my drink. So it was a lady there, and I was like, hey, can you put a little sweet and sour in this? I'm sorry, not sweet and sour, simple syrup, just to sweeten it up a little bit. So she put some in there, and I was like, this doesn't taste right. And so she just took my drink, poured it out, and remade the whole drink. And she was like, is this good? And it was awesome. So the guy sitting beside me was like, hey, do not let him make your drinks. He was like, he doesn't make drinks based on how it says on the menu. He just does whatever he wants to do. He pours whatever he wants to pour in the cup. He just does his own thing. He was like, do not let him make your drinks. And after that, he didn't make me another drink, and all of my drinks were fine.
Yeah, what's that, James that was sitting next to us?
Yeah.
Shout out to James. I know you're watching this. we had a ball over there. I'm glad we stopped in the casino. Yeah, outside of that, and then at the pool bar, the drinks weren't as strong as we would like. But then
we got this old man though.
Yeah.
Y'all, he was clocked in.
He was clocked
in because he was making those drinks well. Because in our video, we talk about how like we didn't really like the drinks or whatever. Because the other bartender was just kind of like lollygagging, and it seemed like he kind of gave a little bit more preferential treatment to other people. So when he was off making somebody else's drink, we asked this older man. We're like, hey, can you make this for us? And he was like, whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah.
Like,
he didn't measure. He just kind of eyeballed it.
He did, and in a good way. Like, he made your drinks in a good way. Mm-hmm. So he was fine. And then we had our old friend at the Alchemy Bar, and he already knows what I want when I walked up to the bar. Yeah. So he was ready for me. So we had a good time at the Alchemy Bar. And the drinks are normally always better at the Alchemy Bar because they're craft cocktails versus that like pre-mixed stuff that they have at like the pool bars and stuff. So Alchemy Bar was fine.
Yeah, especially on the older ships. Alchemy Bar is probably one of the best bars on the ship usually. And service as far as main dining room, they were great as
Hmm.
usual. They're always attentive and always there needing getting you what you need. I think our service was faster this time. We weren't waiting as long. So I
Yeah.
don't know if it's because what time we went. Sometimes we go late, sometimes we go earlier. But I've noticed when you go earlier, you're not waiting as long on your food. So I don't know if that has to do with how many people is in there and all that. But our food was coming up pretty quick and it was hot too. So I
Hmm.
had no complaints about the main dining room or even breakfast. Sometimes in the morning, you can get some people that hadn't woken all the way up yet.
Hadn't had their coffee.
You had, they
Something.
kind of look grumpy, yeah, because it's the early morning, But I mean, they still decent, but they're not as. If you see them later on, you can tell they are giving you better service. But I had no complaints with breakfast. I had no complaints with dinner. Didn't have any complaints at the outside. Like I say, the pizza place was understaffed for whatever reason, so it was always a
Hmm.
long line. But that just meant I got hot pizza after I waited. So it was all good too. So outside of that, I mean, normal service for Carnival. Um, Now I know a lot of people do like the smaller ships because you do get more service. You do get to know your staff a lot better than on the bigger ships. So I guess that's one of those things you got to take into consideration. But outside of that, I mean, for me, the Liberty was it gave what it was supposed to. We went in knowing that it was an older ship. So if you've been on Conquest, if you've been on the Freedom, poor Freedom when it's funnel, um, they're pretty much kind of the same class of ships, the same vibe. It's not the Mardi Gras. So if you're looking
Hmm.
for fun, excitement for 5, 6 days in a row, this is not the ship for you. Because even with it being, we went on a spring break weekend, and while there was a lot of kids, more than we're used to a lot of the times, it wasn't. It was still kind of laid back. We met a lot of people that were still trying to chill while they were on the ship and stuff. So how did you feel about the vibe?
Um, I feel like it was probably definitely like a party vibe. I mean, when you go on a short cruise, a 3 day cruise, that's what you're kind of gonna expect. But I mean, for us, like we're not partiers, so we just went in our room or we went to the Alchemy Bar, which we did kind of turn Alchemy Bar into a party.
Yes, we
But I
did.
mean, I feel like a cruise is what you make it.
Hmm.
Like if you want to party, it's gonna be party there for you. If you want to chill, it's gonna be somewhere to chill for you. So I feel like you just got to make the best of it.
We have a bonus tip for you, and that's the port.
So this was our first time going back to Nassau since they have redone the port. And the port area is really nice now. Like I didn't know what to expect. I had seen a couple of YouTube videos or like a couple little snippets on TikTok, but the port area is really nice. Like when we first got off the ship, we went to this little wine bar. It was
Hmm.
nice and cool in there. It was like an art gallery
Yeah.
slash wine bar. The bartenders were really nice in there. Then we went to Twin Brothers
Twin.
restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to Twin Brothers, and the service there was great. The food
Food
was
was great.
good. We're actually looking forward to going back there in November. But Nassau was actually nice, and Nassau is a walkable port, so you don't necessarily have to get a cab unless you're going somewhere a little further out. I wanted to go to the street that has the umbrellas and take pictures. So we did get a cab, and I think we paid about $20, which was fine because she came back and picked us up and then took us back to the port. So she also took us some other places that we didn't ask to go. She was like, "Hey, let's go over here," and I was like, "Well, I'm on vacation.
All
I don't
right,
care
let's
where we
do it.
go." So she took us to like this little wine tasting place, and we had a good time in there. And then we ate at Twin Brothers. It was a good time.
Yeah, I'm impressed with Nassau. We've been going for a while, and we were like, we don't have to go back. But after the changes that they've done, like it seems like a whole totally different place.
Mm-hmm.
Like she said, walking around, we went to the little bar, had paintings and all that kind of stuff. It was just so cool. We didn't get a chance to go to the museum, so that's definitely something that we can do. You got the whole port area just looking amazing, and then the
Mm-hmm.
straw market is in that big building. We still got to go there. And we definitely got to go back to Twin Brothers. It was
Mm-hmm.
amazing over there,
Yeah.
by the fish fry,
Mm-hmm.
which is an area. If you haven't been, you should definitely go. Some of the best food is over there.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I was really impressed with the port. Um, I have no complaints about it whatsoever.
No.
And with that, guys, that's our Carnival. I was about to say Carnival Conquest. No, it's the Carnival Liberty review. Please like if you found this helpful. We'll have our website in the description and also a link to the embarkation day for the Carnival of Liberty. And with that, I want to say peace out,
Bye.
guys.